We all know that Danish pastries are sweet, but are their football grounds equally sweet? Like in the other sense of the word, because we know that their stadiums aren't actually going to taste sweet. They're mostly made of concrete. Let's check out the Danish Superliga stadium to find out. Concrete, I just know it wouldn't be sweet. Pistolero Park. We're barely 30 seconds in and I've already contradicted myself. This stadium clearly isn't mostly made of concrete. But it's an anomaly in this league. Most stadiums aren't made of earth. I love that though. Combined with the fact that it's almost entirely surrounded by trees. And you know a place like this has my name written all over it. See? Yes, my name is Fugless. It's not a very common name due to the way it sounds, but I'm not changing it. I will be Fugless Squelchton until the day I die. Oh, hang on. What's all this then? It looks like temporary stands have been placed in front of and on top of those grass embankments. Okay then. I was wondering whether the stadium actually met the league requirements. Clearly it did not. Well, it's not as pretty as it was, but I'm sure most of the home fans are happy with the upgrade. Brondby Stadium probably couldn't be any more different if it tried. For starters, the exterior is unapologetically concrete and steel. Not even the most hardy species of grass could grow on the side of this building.
Not even Bermuda grass?
Not even Bermuda. Wait, who the f*** are you?
I'm Fugless.
You're Fugless as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's more common than I thought. Anyway, please leave. Like a lot of the grounds in this part of the world, there's a mix of seating and terracing. The south stand is the latter. It's where you'll find the Brondby Ultras. Although that is converted to seating during European competition to comply with the UEFA regulations as per usual. I do wish both of the club's colours of blue and yellow were on display, rather than just the blue, but whatever. Despite not being situated in Copenhagen proper, Brondby is one of the participants in Denmarkian football's biggest rivalry, known as the Copenhagen Derby. You see, this town is just 15 kilometers or so from the centre of Copenhagen. That matchup usually sells this place out. The other participant, FC Copenhagen, plays at a ground they call Parken. I think Parken is the name of like some sort of cake in the north of England. It's got like ginger in it. But this Parken is even better. Yes, better than cake. They said it couldn't be done, but here we are. Not only is Parken the largest stadium in the country, but it was the first stadium in the entirety of Scandinavia to feature a retractable roof. This, along with the retractable seating lower down, are some of the reasons why it's a particularly versatile venue that also hosts the biggest music acts when they visit Denmark. This here seems to be a Douglas McNugget concert. Glad to see he's growing in popularity across the pond. Speaking of McNuggets, there is actually a Michelin star restaurant within this stadium. It's called Geranium. Think of all the old ladies who showed up to this place expecting it to be a florist, only to see overpriced and pretentious food on offer. Call me ignorant, but there's just no way something that looks like that is going to taste better than a curry or a burrito. So yeah, this is a very distinctive design for a stadium, and it's got plenty of modern technology and amenities within. There's just one aspect that I'm not such a fan of, and that's the exterior, which is just a little bit ugly. Maybe not ugly, just a bit bland. Imagine if it all looked like this building over here. Monjasa Park. We are back to the grassy stands, although unlike Pistolero Park, it is just at the ends of this ground. This side of the field was a grass embankment until 2021, when they built this stand. It added 1,400 seats, which brought the capacity up to 6,000. Still, it is the smallest ground in the league. Those upgrades took place whilst the club was sitting in the second tier, anticipating a promotion to the Superliga. They achieved that goal, but they haven't been scoring too many goals as of late. At the time of recording, the home team has been on a losing streak. At least the spectators are comfortable whilst watching their team lose. MCH Arena. This ground was established in 2004. Shortly after it opened, it was renamed SAS Arena, after Scandinavian Airlines. You might be surprised to hear that it was the first stadium in the country to have a naming rights sponsor. It's now named after MCH, who are the owners of the stadium. They're some sort of Swiss marketing and event operator. I'm boring myself. They have themselves a nice stadium, and it appears that Midtjylland enjoy playing here as they currently sit atop the Superliga table. If they continue to grow as a club, the stadium was actually designed to be potentially expanded to a capacity of 50,000. That might be a while off, but who knows. It seems that equestrian events take place here. Damn. I was going to try and think of an equestrian-related joke, but the horse is bolted. To be honest, I would have probably just tried to come up with a pony pun, and that would just be flogging a dead horse. So in my own mind, I had a vote on it, and I voted nay. Right to Dream Park. Speaking of dreams, I had a dream the other night about competing in the archery at the Olympics, which is odd. Don't have much interest in archery. Then last night I had a dream that I was wanted for murder in the country of Georgia. The police didn't know I had done it yet, but they were closing in. One of the detectives found a coffee cup that I had discarded near the crime scene, so, they had my DNA. No idea where this shit comes from. But it's what makes dreaming so good. That's why I'm glad to see that this stadium is fighting to protect that right. The right to dream. Of course, there's a chance they are using the word dream more in the sense of aspiration rather than murder-based nighttime hallucinations. Either way, it is a dream football stadium in some ways. I mean, the design is nothing too far out of the ordinary, but the amenities are modern, and everything looks clean. Oh, and just so we're clear, I've of course never murdered anybody in Georgia. My subconscious mind has obviously got things mixed up there. Her name was never mind. Nature Energi Park. Thankfully, the ground with nature in its title has a natural grass field. It is a fitting name because this ground is situated on Funen, Denmark's third largest island, which is also known as Denmark's Green Island. I'm pretty sure most of Denmark is green, so this place must be especially green. Even greener than a 50-year-old copper statue of Kermit the Frog with moss growing on it. It's pretty green. This ground was opened in 1941 when Denmark was occupied by the Nazis. However, the locals did actually start building the ground well before the German invasion, and they'd been planning it for many years prior to that. So I don't want people to think it was some sort of Nazi initiative. We don't need to give Kanye West another reason to praise Hitler. He's already got the invention of this very microphone that I'm currently using, and of course the freeway. So let's say we've ticked off Kermit the Frog, Nazis, and Kanye West. What an interesting stadium. I forgot to look up the pronunciation of this one, the Cepheus part, but it's just the name of a sponsor, so I don't feel too bad about it, especially considering that they are a real estate agency. Perhaps the word is pronounced cunt. This stadium was renovated significantly in 2006. The same year it hosted the Schutzhund World Championship, which is like a dog competition, as you may have guessed. Now, I can't imagine that renovation was carried out in preparation for the event, because there would have been more pause than applause at such an event. I don't think the stadium's capacity would have been pushed to its limits. But those dog shows can be kind of fun to watch, especially when the big dopey looking dogs get a go at it. Anyway, due to the fact that the stadium's been built upon piece by piece over the years, rather than all at once, the stadium's interior is a lot more interesting than a typical modern bowl. It's rather compact, and despite the relatively small capacity, there are 3 tiers of seating in some sections. Jysk Park. For the longest time I would see Jysk stores from afar and had no idea what they actually sold, and never bothered to find out until I saw an ad once and found out that they sell coffee table books. Yes, it's a bookstore, clearly. No, they of course make furniture. Speaking of Jysk, it's kind of weird that there is signage at this stadium for Jysk Bank. I wonder if the two companies are related. I guess I'll have to wait until I see a Jysk Bank ad. No, but what does Jysk mean? I'm curious now. Oh, it's like a demonym for people or things from Jutland, the area in which we are located. Interesting. In some ways, Jysk is the perfect sponsor for the stadium because the exterior is sleek, much like Scandinavian furniture, and the interior can accommodate many people in comfort, much like Jysk furniture. Maybe. I mean, I haven't knowingly tested it, but yeah, seems like a lovely modern stadium. Sydbank Park is situated in the town of Haderslev, and I know I pronounced that wrong, but the town is known for its red brick water tower. Water tower? Oh man, wouldn't it be cool if the floodlight towers here were like mini versions of that? I suppose that would only work if the stadium had a wraparound brick facade and a green roof, but it doesn't. It's just a regular football stadium. The south stand here is reserved for the away fans, and it's standing room only. Which seems wise, make them less comfortable. But actually, studies suggest that standing makes a group of fans more cohesive, more likely to chant and cheer, but most of all, making them stand means they're less likely to develop type 2 diabetes. So tactically speaking, it's actually a blunder. Ethically speaking, not so much. The north stand is also standing room only, so there's some for the home fans as well. Vejle Stadion. Just thought I'd do something a bit different. I don't know. This is an interesting spot for a stadium. It's situated amongst a forest of sorts. A forest that contains a deer park and an obstacle course. As well as yet another stadium. How many other forests could possibly say the same? That is, as you may have expected, the club's old ground. Not only was the old stadium not rectangular, but it wasn't the safest ground going round either. There was a rather nasty collapse that occurred there in 1995. The towers in the northwest and northeast of the ground contain offices, amongst other things like doctors' offices, which upon reflection are also offices of sorts. It says so in the name. I wonder if having a view of the field has caused distractions in the past. Okay, now if you could just say "ah" for me. Goal! Goal, 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 goal! That wasn't even f***ing close. We need to get him on some psych meds pronto. Energi Viborg Arena. Whereas the previous ground was surrounded by greenery, this stadium has additional buildings attached to it on all sides, including arenas, medical facilities, and restaurants. None of the medical facilities have a view of the field, and none of the restaurants are Michelin starred. They could only get a star in Goodyear's food guide, which doesn't carry the same prestige as the Michelin star rating, or indeed the Pirelli Guide to Gastronomy. This ground was home to the Danish women's football team for around 10 years. Now they play at all different grounds across the country, which makes a lot of sense. The club themselves have called this ground home since it opened way back in 1931. It goes without saying that it's had a lot of work done over the years. Almost as much as Dolly Parton has had done. She's performed here in the past, that's why I mentioned her. So there you have it, time to pick a favourite. If Parken had a more sexy exterior, it would be an easy choice, but it doesn't, so it isn't. I'm gonna go for Jysk Park, with its sleek exterior and compact double-tiered interior. Yeah. Now it's time for extra time. Joining me today is Denmark football enthusiast Kenneth Buckley.
Hello.
Kenneth Buckley. Are you Danish?
Yes.
Like proper Danish?
Yes.
It's just, I wasn't expecting a name like Kenneth Buckley.
What is wrong with it?
Well, it just sounds very Anglo. Like, do you have British ancestry or something?
No.
Okay, well, Kenneth, I've completely forgotten what I was going to ask you now. Consider changing your name, it's just going to keep throwing people off.
Okay. Is Tucker O'Brien okay?
No, you don't get it, Kenneth. Go with Niels Jensen or Jens Nielsen or something like that.
What about Bruce Miller?
Bruce Miller. I think that might be Danish actually. Yeah, go with that.
Okay, I am Bruce.
Cool. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.